I'm a clinical pharmacist, and I'm not the kind of man who jumps to conclusions. But when my wife told me she was pregnant, I knew the baby wasn't mine, and not because of gut instinct or suspicion, but because I made damn sure I couldn't have children. Let me explain. My name's Nathan, I'm 36, and I've been married to Emily for 6 years. We had one child together, a beautiful baby girl named Mira, after a traumatic pregnancy that nearly took both of them. Emily had preeclampsia, an emergency C-section, and needed 3 blood transfusions. I stayed by her side the entire time, holding her hand while she cried through the pain and the fear. After that, we both agreed. No more kids. One was enough. She even joked, I'd rather wrestle a crocodile than go through labor again. So I made the decision, quietly, rationally. I scheduled a vasectomy 6 months later, on a Friday after work. I didn't tell Emily. Not because I wanted to deceive her, but because I knew if I brought it up, she'd hesitate, change her mind, or guilt me into keeping our options open. I didn't want more options. I wanted to protect her. I wanted to protect us. I didn't want to roll the dice again. 1.5 years passed. Life was good, busy, normal. Emily returned to work part-time at the clinic where she assisted the medical director. I picked up extra shifts. Mira turned 2. We had routines, messy mornings, half-slept nights, and lazy Sunday breakfasts. Then Emily started acting odd. She was glowing, buzzing, like she was in love. More affectionate than usual, more distracted. Her phone started living face down. She started working late, 3 or 4 nights a week. I noticed. I didn't confront her. And then came the moment. A soft summer evening. She walked into the kitchen with a weird smile on her face, holding something behind her back. I have a surprise, she said. Oh yeah? I smiled back, feigning curiosity. She pulled out a little white onesie. On the front, coming soon, baby number 2. My hands went cold. I didn't say anything for a full 5 seconds. She thought I was shocked in the good way. I know, right? I didn't think it would happen so fast. I was late, so I took a test just to be sure, and then another, and then made an appointment. It's real. I nodded slowly. My mouth was dry. Wow, I said. That's unexpected. She laughed and wrapped her arms around me. I know we said we were done, but I really think this happened for a reason. I didn't sleep that night. I laid next to her, listening to her breathing, staring at the ceiling. My brain wouldn't shut off. She doesn't know. She thinks it's a miracle. But I knew biology. I knew medicine. I knew what the procedure did, and that I'd confirmed the success 6 weeks later with a sperm count of 0. There was no margin of error, no failed vasectomy, no baby. At least not from me. But I didn't confront her. Instead, I got to work. Instead of blowing up or demanding answers, I did what I've been trained to do. I observed, I documented, I planned. You don't become a good clinician by reacting emotionally. You get there by staying calm in crisis, by identifying patterns, and by following the evidence. That's exactly what I did. Only now, the patient was my marriage. I began by syncing her Google Calendar to mine. She'd given me access before for parenting coordination, and she rarely updated the sharing settings. Every yoga class, nail appointment, and girls' brunch she scheduled, I saw them all. And right away, I noticed something off. First, the yoga classes suddenly moved to Tuesday and Thursday evenings, twice a week, after Mira was asleep. Then Saturday mornings too. That was never her habit. Emily was never the type to work out consistently. She hated sweating. But now she was obsessed with her new wellness routine. Second, her phone habits. I'm not the jealous type. I've never gone through her messages or tried to read over her shoulder, but I didn't have to. She had suddenly started keeping her phone on silent, not just at night but always. It lived face down. She took it into the bathroom with her, even into the backyard when she watered the plants. She once slept with it under her pillow. She'd say it was because Mira might call from daycare, but we both knew how unlikely that was. Mira was 3. She barely knew how to unlock an iPad. Then, her body language. There's a kind of guilty kindness people develop when they know they've betrayed you, like they're trying to repay a debt before it's discovered. She kissed me more, cooked more, complimented my shirts I'd owned for years. She touched my shoulder when she passed behind me, like a politician at a fundraiser, like someone compensating for something. Still, I didn't accuse her. Instead, I played along. I told her how excited I was to be a dad again. I asked her to walk me through the timeline of her pregnancy. When did she first feel off? When did she test? What symptoms? I asked casually, like a curious husband. But I was mapping everything. She said she felt nauseous around week 5, tested in week 6, appointment in week 8. That lined up exactly with the week I was gone. I had attended a professional seminar in Denver from April 3rd to April 7th, a mandatory continuing education event with 10-hour days, panels, and workshops. I had my hotel receipts, flight records, and text logs. I even had a few selfies with colleagues and a time-stamped email trail from my presentation. That week, I was 200 miles away, which meant the baby wasn't mine. And that was the moment my plan shifted from suspicion to confirmation. Her first blood test, the one every pregnant woman gets around week 10, was scheduled for a Monday morning. Emily asked if I could drive her there. I said, of course. We arrived at the lab at 8:15 a.m. She wore a light green sundress and sandals, humming something under her breath. She looked genuinely happy. I, on the other hand, was walking beside her with a calm mask over a brain that was spinning in overdrive. Once checked in, she filled out the routine paperwork. I casually excused myself to the restroom, then slipped into the back hallway and found Lisa, a nurse I knew from the lab. We'd worked on a cross-departmental medication review project a year earlier. We'd had coffee once. She trusted me. I pulled her aside. Hey Lisa, this is awkward, but I need your help. Strictly confidential. We need 2 vials from that draw. One labeled, one unlabeled. And I'll swing by to pick up the extra later. Can you do that? She gave me a look. Nathan, what is this? It's for something very important, I said. I can't explain now, just trust me. She hesitated, then nodded. You got it. Back in the waiting room, Emily smiled. They said it should be quick. I'm not in a rush, I said. Let's take our time. Later that afternoon, I picked up the extra vial from Lisa. No label, no questions. I thanked her, handed her a Starbucks card, and left. That evening, after Emily fell asleep, I sat in my home office and stared at the vial. This was it, the key. But I needed a match, and I had a theory. Let me tell you about Dr. Jordan Monroe, late 40s, graying at the temples, blue eyes, white veneers, too many leather shoes. The kind of man who thinks every woman under 35 still has a crush on him. He was the medical director at Emily's clinic, technically her boss. Twice divorced, 2 kids from 2 marriages. Still wore tight shirts to show off gym hours he didn't have time for. Emily mentioned him constantly. At first I chalked it up to standard work banter, office dynamics. He was annoying, maybe a little flirty. Fine. But then she started defending him, talking about how people misjudge him, how he's actually really smart, how he's a great leader once you get to know him. The kind of excuses women make when they want to justify why they're attracted to someone they shouldn't be. Still, it was just a suspicion, until the company barbecue. That's where I made my move. At the barbecue, Jordan brought a 6-pack of craft beer and spent the entire afternoon in his designer sunglasses, laughing too loud, talking too close to the women, and giving unsolicited advice to younger men. At one point, he left his drink on the patio table and walked away to talk to someone. I was watching from the grill. I waited 3 seconds, grabbed the bottle with a napkin, swapped it with a duplicate I'd brought in a cooler, and walked calmly to my car. Back home, I sealed it, froze it, called Raj, my friend from med school who now worked at a private genetic lab. I need a paternity comparison, I told him. 2 samples. One is from a pregnant woman, the other from a suspected biological father. I need you to match fetal DNA against the second profile and exclude me. Raj didn't ask questions. Send it. I'll fast-track it. I also submitted my sample for analysis. The wait was brutal. Raj said it would take about 10 days. That's fast, all things considered. But when you're waiting to confirm whether your wife is carrying another man's child, 10 days feels like a lifetime. During that time, I played the part. The excited husband, the loving partner, the expectant father. I kissed her goodnight. I rubbed her feet. I cooked dinner twice. I even suggested baby names. She was glowing, from more than just pregnancy. She looked like someone in love, but not with me. That was the hardest part. Watching her laugh at her phone, smile at nothing, hum in the kitchen, knowing that none of it was for me. That her joy came from a secret she thought she was getting away with. From a fantasy life she thought she could build behind my back. Every time I saw her hand drift to her belly with that far-off smile, I wanted to scream, "You're not carrying my child. You're carrying the evidence of your betrayal." But I stayed silent. I was going to let science speak for me. On the 10th evening, Raj called. "Got your results," he said. "You ready?" "Hit me," he exhaled. "Well, fetal DNA analysis shows a 99.97% match to the secondary sample. The sample from the beer bottle. And me? 0 match. Not even a partial. Nathan, I'm sorry, man. I didn't say anything at first. Just let the words settle." "Thanks," I finally said. "Send me the documents. I'll handle the rest." I didn't cry. I didn't punch a wall. I just sat there, in the dark, listening to the hum of the fridge and the ticking of the kitchen clock. Mira was asleep. Emily was upstairs watching Netflix, probably texting him under the blanket. I felt calm, not numb, just resolved. I had what I needed. The truth. Cold, clinical, undeniable truth. I wasn't going to yell or beg or ask why. I was going to end it, efficiently, surgically. I spent the next 2 days preparing. I printed the paternity report, bought a small, elegant gift box, the kind people use for baby showers. Inside it, I placed 3 things. A folded onesie that read, "Daddy's Little Miracle." A printed copy of the genetic report, a sealed envelope containing divorce papers. Then I made dinner. Her favorite, pan-seared salmon with garlic asparagus and wild rice. We lit candles. She laughed, thinking I was being romantic. "You're really getting into this dad thing again," she smiled. "Yeah," I said. I wanted to make the evening special. Halfway through dessert, I slid the box across the table. She tilted her head. "What's this?" "A little gift," I said, "for our future." She opened it, smiling, until she saw the report. At first, she didn't understand. She pulled the paper out, started reading, brows furrowing. Her lips moved silently through the words, tracing the jargon, scanning the numbers. Then she froze. "Nathan," she said. Her voice cracked. "What is this?" "You're 3 months pregnant, Emily," I said softly. "And I've been sterile for 2 years." She stared at me like I'd just spoken another language. "I had a vasectomy," I continued. "Right after Mira was born. I didn't tell you because I knew you'd try to talk me out of it. And frankly, after what you went through, I thought it was the best choice for both of us. 1 child, 1 life, 1 family." I leaned forward. "But this?" I tapped the paper. "This is not my child. This is Dr. Monroe's." She dropped the onesie on the table like it burned her. Nathan, I didn't," she stammered. "It was a mistake. I didn't think I could even get pregnant. I didn't plan for this, I swear." "But you did sleep with him." Her mouth opened, then closed. Her face drained of color. She started crying. "I didn't mean for it to happen. It was stupid. It only happened a couple of times. And now there's a couple of cells dividing into a human being inside you," I said. "Not mine." She begged. She pleaded. She said we could figure it out, that we could raise the baby together, That Mira needed her parents to stay together. But I was already gone. The man who would have stayed for the sake of appearances. He disappeared when she made her choice. I stood up, placed my napkin on the table, and looked her in the eyes. I took an oath to do no harm, I said, but I won't let you keep hurting me. Then I walked out. I didn't go back upstairs that night, didn't grab a jacket, didn't even look back. I just walked out the front door, got in my car, and drove. The weight on my chest didn't lift, it shifted. From confusion and anxiety to a cold, clean clarity. The kind you get after surgery. You're still sore, still weak, but the infection's gone. I checked into a business-class hotel downtown. Basic, quiet. No one asked questions. I gave the receptionist a fake reason. Late shift at the hospital. She nodded without a word. I went up to the room, tossed my keys on the dresser, sat on the edge of the bed, and stared at the wall for over an hour. No music, no TV, just silence and the low hum of the HVAC unit. That night I didn't cry. I didn't punch the wall or throw things. I just sat with it. The betrayal. The cold math of it all. I had been sleeping next to someone who knew, every day, that she was carrying another man's child, and she had smiled, kissed me, told me she loved me. She let me rub her back when she felt nauseous. She let me talk to the bump like a fool. She let me believe it was ours. But it never was. It was hers, and his, and I'd been a stand-in, a prop, a placeholder until she figured out whether the fantasy man would stick around. Emily started blowing up my phone on day 2. First came the apologies. Please, Nathan, we can fix this. Don't throw everything away. I panicked. I was confused. You've been distant for months. I didn't think you wanted me. Then came the gaslighting. You violated my medical privacy. That's disgusting. You tricked me. You had a vasectomy behind my back. That's manipulation. You're the one who lied first. Then came the desperation. Emily's voice cracked. Nathan, please. What about Mira? Are you really going to tear our family apart? I didn't answer. We can get through this. We're already parents. We've been through worse. We can raise this baby together. Raise his baby? It was a mistake. I didn't plan for this. I thought it was over. It happened once, twice. God, I didn't even know I could get pregnant again. I stayed silent. We don't even know for sure if it's Jordan's. Maybe your vasectomy failed. Maybe it's yours. Emily, I said calmly, I'm a doctor. I know how vasectomies work, and I know how to run a DNA test. She must have forgotten that I was a scientist, that I knew, that I had proof. I didn't respond, not once. I forwarded everything to my lawyer. I never engaged. The papers were served the following Friday. She called me crying. I didn't pick up. She left a voicemail. I'm sorry, Nathan. I was stupid. I ruined everything. I love you. Please, don't do this. We can start over. We can go to therapy. I'll cut him off. I'll do anything. It was too late. Because she hadn't just broken trust. She'd shattered reality. She'd let me build a future on lies while holding her own truth behind her back like a dagger. Within 2 weeks, she moved out. She went to stay with her sister, Katie, a sharp-tongued divorcee who always thought I was too cold for Emily anyway. Fine, she could have her emotional support circle. I wasn't going to stop her. We agreed on shared custody for Mira. I insisted she stay with me during the school week. Keep her in routine, minimize chaos. Emily didn't fight it, maybe out of guilt, maybe because deep down, she knew I'd always been the one holding everything together. 7 months later, she gave birth to a baby boy. I didn't visit, didn't text, didn't ask for pictures. I just sent her a simple email via the parenting app we used for scheduling. Hope delivery went safely. Let me know if you need a schedule adjustment for Mira this week. She replied, Thanks, he's healthy. I named him Eli. No mention of the father, no gushing birth story. Just that. Cold, clean, quiet. Dr. Monroe? He disappeared from the clinic? No announcement, no farewell party. His name was quietly removed from the company website. Someone said he relocated to North Carolina. Others whispered about a harassment complaint from a nurse. I didn't care. He was a footnote now, a genetic contributor to a child I'd never hold. Let him carry the weight. As for me, I'm still here, still doing the job, still packing Mira's snacks every morning, walking her to preschool, tucking her in with dinosaur bedtime stories and bad knock-knock jokes. She's 4 now, curious, bright, fierce. She looks more like her mother every day. And somehow, that doesn't hurt like I thought it would. Because Mira is mine, in every way that matters. People always ask me if I ever regret not telling Emily about the vasectomy. No, because even if I had told her, it wouldn't have stopped what happened. It just would have made her hide it better. Sometimes I wonder how long she would have kept the lie going. How long she thought I could be fooled. 9 months? A year? Forever? And sometimes, on the quiet nights, when Mira's asleep and the house feels still and soft, I replay that dinner in my head. The candlelight, the little box with the onesie and the DNA test folded beneath it. Her hands trembling, my voice steady. The exact moment her lie stopped breathing. Some men lose their minds. Some men destroy everything on the way out. Some men forgive. I chose precision, because the body doesn't heal when the infection stays. And betrayal is a kind of rot. I cut it out. Now I sleep just fine.